The remote work situation has exposed some problems we're still trying to work through. As a result, we've had to make the difficult decision of pushing New World's launch date to August 25th, 2020.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy D to the E. And if you like me, after, I don't know, it's been about 12 hours now since Amazon announced that the New World MMO has been delayed. And, you know, I'm going to say, you know, I've been super excited about this game. And I have to say, when I saw the video today, it really did, like, hit me. And you know, it took my excitement away, as I'm sure it did with a lot of players. But I feel like this is both a gift and a curse, and I kind of just want to talk about it freely.
Hi, folks. I'm Scott Lane, Game Director on New World.
You know, Game Director Scott Lane came on Twitter, and they posted a video via YouTube. If you haven't seen it, you should go check it out. And it basically goes around and it talks about how the studio is been affected, as I'm sure every studio in every facet of the world has been affected by what's going on. And I went to the YouTube video and I was really surprised to see how many people were disliking the video. You know, I understand, guys. I get it. You can see by the demeanor and tone of my voice, like I'm very upset, you know, but I'm not upset at Amazon. You can't be mad at Amazon. And I think it's unfair to downvote them and, you know, get at them and start calling them names and getting on top of the developers and doing all this negative stuff. Like, it's not like these guys planned for this to happen, and God only knows what type of fiasco they're dealing with behind closed doors. And I'm gonna defend them, you know, at this point, because how can you not? How can you point any fingers at them and be discuss or be upset that you pre-ordered? And, you know, I pre-ordered too. How can you be mad? You know, it's an unfortunate reality that we're living in the world right now, where this, you know, situation is affecting every corner of everyone's lives in some way, shape, or form. And it's naive to think that gaming is not going to also be inadvertently affected. You know, I made a couple of videos already describing what Amazon needs to do to gain our trust, to gain our, you know, endorsement in terms of whether or not they can live up to the bar that they're trying to make. And right off the bat, I'm going to applaud them right now, because let me tell you why. Okay. There have been too many companies out there that only care about the money. Amazon's not one of those companies. So if you're one of those companies that only cares about the money, you're going to be more like, hey, you know what? We're going to push the game out regardless. We need the money. Let's just go ahead and release it. Let's just, you know, and we'll fix it. We'll patch it up as time goes on. And I can't tell you how many times that business model and that way of doing things has failed. We all know how that feels to join a game that we're all excited about. We're waiting for things to get fixed. Amazon's not doing that. You know, Amazon's going out on the high note. Amazon's being very smart right now by doing what they should do. They're saying, yo, look, check it. This game, as of right now, doesn't meet what we feel it should be at in terms of releasing it for a beta. So we feel, given the course of everything that's going on, which I understand, you know, we're going to push it out for 4 more months. Cool. Some people might say, oh man, that's too long. It's 4 months, man. That's too long. Well, look, have you been paying attention to what's been going on in the world? Like, seriously, have you been watching the news, watching the president? You know, like, this is not going away anytime soon. Nobody knows how long this is going to last. You know, 90% of the country, as I understand it, is on lockdown at this point. And they're talking about possible second waves and third waves, all this stuff. You know, and I'm not an expert. I'm not. You know, I only go off the information that I try to find factual and whatnot. But don't be naive and to think that this is just a quick thing that should have been over by now. Like, it's going to take some time. You know, and unfortunately, these people are human beings. They all have families. They all have things that they have to do, you know, just like we do. You know, I'm sitting at home with my kids and I'm sitting on the computer and I'm waiting for an email to say, hey, you can start playing our game. Cool. That's what I'm doing, right? But what about the developer who's got this like crazy schedule going through? He's still working, you know, doing his thing. He's like, I got to get this game ready for this one date, and there's just so much, and God only knows like how much equipment or how disadvantaged they are by being at home, being split up, not having their team around. Maybe there's something that they need to run by their boss and say, hey, you know what, I gotta do this, and then they gotta send it through. They have to somehow FaceTime. He's got to show him what he's doing. Like, it could be super complicated. We don't know. So I think it's impractical to jump all over Amazon, you guys, or any other game company. You know, there are other game companies that either have announced that they're going to be pushing back their dates, or it's a possibility that it could happen. You know, Rainbow Six Siege, you know, Path of Exiles 2, Elder Scrolls Online, Fallout 76, all these games. You know, so you need to be prepared, because this is something that is going to affect a lot of things and a lot of games that you may want to play. And the alpha is still going on, which is good. You know, whether or not they're going to continue to allow people who aren't in the alpha to join the alpha, I'm not sure. If I got sent an email that stated, hey, you're invited to the alpha, unfortunately though, we're going to have to put you under NDA. If you want to join, then of course I'm going to join, you know, and I'm going to have to not make any content because I don't want to get in trouble. But, you know, I completely understand the challenges that they're going through. And I think it's important for us to just remember, you know, it's really easy to be sitting at home if you're not, especially if you're in an area where you're not actually if it's not affecting you personally. A lot of people, if something happens and it doesn't affect them personally or anyone that they know personally, you know, like for me, it affected me personally. My business suffered and I basically lost my job, you know? And so like millions of other Americans, I'm suffering through the course of trying to figure out how we're going to get through this, me and my family, you know, but no one in my family is actually sick. I am not actually sick. So the actual adverse, like dangerous effects of what's happening to people, I don't understand that because I'm not around the healthcare professionals. I haven't seen it for myself. I don't know how bad it really is. All I know is what I see through media, right? With that being said, I really want to encourage all of us as gamers to remember that we're all in this together. You know, it's not easy. I'm sure the game is going to be great. I am very, very appreciative that they at least came out way ahead of schedule. It wasn't like, you know, they waited till the end of April. They came out way ahead of schedule and it was like, hey, look, this is why. And it's a completely understandable reason. And what really caught my ear and what really has me excited about Amazon is that they're taking that Blizzard stance, at least in the beginning here, because this is how Blizzard was at the beginning too. So we hope that if they do, you know, do this, they don't lose this sense of identity as they get bigger. Well, they're already they're Amazon, but you know, the gaming side of things, as they get more noticeable and people are like, you know, hey, Amazon's got it going on. I really hope they don't lose this. But, you know, the whole Blizzard motto when they first came out, the original team of Blizzard was, you know, they had a bar they set for themselves and it had to be perfect before they released it. It had to be what they envisioned it to be. And when we played it, everyone was like, dope, this is so dope. It's so awesome. I loved it. Oh, Amazon's doing the same thing. So I would much rather, in closing, I'm gonna leave you with this statement because I really believe it. I want to put it on a t-shirt. I would much rather wait 4 months for a great game than play it right now in a mediocre state. And I know most gamers would agree with me. The question is, though, is make sure you hit that bar, Amazon. That's all I gotta say. So you guys, you know, this is definitely an unorthodox video. I feel like, you know, I don't know what each and every one of you is going through, but all I can say is, you know, keep yourself safe, wash your hands, you know, take care of your family, do what you need to do. And let's just you know, let's just remember we're all in this together. So just kind of ease up, you know, be understanding to the circumstances that we're living in, because it's a weird world, and in a very weird way, it's a new world for us right now. So please consider liking and subscribing, you guys, if you like the video. I'll keep it coming as more news unfolds, and hope all of you take care of yourselves. This has been another one from D to the E. Peace out.